Alright everyone, I just wanted to do a quick video about a little bit of cloud mining. I know a lot of people have gone all in on different mining websites, things like that, MinerGate, Genesis mining, things like that. Genesis mining, for instance, you can't buy any Bitcoin mining specifically. In fact, it's darn near tricky to get any mining on their website. The only thing I think I've found is the Monero. Excuse me, the Monero. Alright, before we get started, I do want to state that I am not offering this as investment advice. I am not a certified financial planner. I am not giving this to you as a reason to or not to invest in what I'm about to show you. We're just going to go with Hashflare. They seem like they're relatively legitimate Bitcoin cloud mining. And I set this up 1 week ago, exactly 1 week ago. And just check out my dashboard. I have about 15,000 Satoshis. And I've been kind of up and down. I've done a little bit of playing with the allocation table, and yeah, I don't know if that makes any difference. But it shows you your revenue forecast, daily, weekly, and everything. That's cool. I'm not going to give you a full tour of this because that's not what we're talking about today. The difference is, as opposed to the Genesis mining, which, again, if it's out of stock on your Bitcoin mining, you can't get it, so it's like you can't buy it. We're not going to pursue that. The other thing that Hashflare offers a referral program, so I can go and give you guys a link so that you will sign up under me, and that will boost my hash rate. So basically, I'll get a boost in my hash if you sign up using my link. That skews the results of how effective this mining is, so we're not going to do that. So exactly 1 week ago, I bought a little bit of mining hash power, and I've only got 0.5 terahashes, so that's 500 gigahashes. I've just been throwing a little money at this from, spare money that's just been in other wallets and stuff. Just I don't even. It's like $60 worth of investment. So here's my 3 contracts. I just did 300 gigahash to start with 1 week ago. Then I invested a little bit more just to get me up to a certain level, and to round it all out, I let the reinvest take over, and that was another, $4.50 to get another 30 gigahash per day, or per second, sorry, 30 gigahash per second. So here we are. We have exactly now 500 gigahash per second hash rate on SHA-256, and we're assuming we're mining Bitcoin. They're not super transparent about that, but it is what it is. We're just going to run with it. So they expect that in 1 year, we're going to have the revenue of $515.28. That will be cumulative, and since we're not reinvesting, right here, my setting is do not reinvest. So if we just let it lay flat, we need to see what we're going to have at the end of 1 year. My contracts will all end within 1 week of each other, and they will end 16th of December in 2018. And today, just for the record, is December 18th. So we're exactly 1 week past my first investment, and we're about a year and maybe a few days until the very end of my last 30 gigahash per second contract. So we got my contracts, no withdrawals yet. And this is probably the most confusing part of the entire operation, where you've got multiple transactions per day, and some are maintenance, some are payout. Here's something that you need to be aware about Hashflare. Their daily maintenance that they say they charge, maintenance fee, is basically if you buy 10 gigahash per second per day, 10 gigahash per second, In 24 hours, they're going to ding you for 0.35 cents. Take that for what it's worth, but just so that we can compare apples to apples to US dollar, we're looking at about 17 cents per day for what I am charged for my maintenance cost. And I'm making, I don't know, roughly 8 times that in my regular mining. So this is the tricky part. And if you are quick with your math and you say, okay, well, I'm buying it in US dollars and my balance is in Bitcoin, what do I do here? And yeah, it's tricky. But what I've learned is that on my handy dandy spreadsheet, I've just been entering per day. So today I've gained, let's see, 7,420 Satoshis, and I've been charged 914 back for my daily maintenance. So my daily net is 6,506. And so my in-out is 15,471, which matches on my dashboard my Bitcoin total right here, 15,471. But we want this to make money for us, so I've taken my entire total investment so far. So I've got my 2 actual investments. All right, so we can color these. Bloop, bloop. All right. So these are my initial investments, and then I have 1 reinvest. But the way the math works with Hashflare is that they don't count this against your total balance because that's a standard purchase, not a reinvestment. So this doesn't count against your total, but this does when they take out those maintenance costs and your revenue. So your revenue, your payout, and they do take out the reinvestment here. So that's how we get this formula to reach the same dollar amount as that. But if you'll notice, this number is not exactly representative of what I've put in. So today, Bitcoin is about $19,000, and if everything stays the way it is, obviously Bitcoin price will fluctuate, it'll go up, it'll go down, and this isn't exactly the price of Bitcoin when I made my initial purchase. We're just going to work with some basic numbers, we're not going to make it too complicated. So my total balance that I've invested so far is, I don't know, what do we got? That is 261,954 Satoshis, approximately. You know, we're dealing with ballparks, but we want this to make money for us. So we don't even know the point at which we're going to break even. So in dollars, that's approximately $42 that I'm in it for so far, after 1 week of revenue and reinvestment at 0.5 terahashes. So we'll mark this as yellow for today, right? So I'm already in it for 45-ish dollars, and I've earned back a few dollars back. So here we are at $42. Now let's say that earnings stay flat. This is only because we can only go by today in history. So if all things remain equal today, and we'll just say Bitcoin changes none, and the algorithms don't change, and the dollar value stays the same, the payout, the cost, everything stays exactly flat. And that's the number we're going to have. And so 261,954 Satoshis. Total investment, we're not going to invest anymore. We're just going to let it ride. So why do we need to know this? Because Hashflare has a certain amount that you require to withdraw. That's right. So if you invest so little that the amount you make, if this number never reaches this number, then you'll never be able to withdraw. So we need an exit strategy here, right? 0.01 Bitcoin plus another 7,000th for the commission, transfer fees, whatever they want to call it, right? So let's take a look at what it'll take to even break even, and then, well, if we break even, then I don't think that's going to cover it for the withdrawal amount. So if we just start heading into the end of this year is this date. Let's mark that in blue. End of the year, we'll have approximately $26, or you can call that, oh, we're still under, but that doesn't count. We'll have to count for the in-out balance. This is the Hashflare balance right here. This is the number we really need to pay attention to, because that's the number we're going to be gauged against to make our withdrawal. So at the end of the month, here's what we're looking at. 0.001 Bitcoin. Well, that's not quite what we need, 0.01. So we're going to be significantly past that in order to come up with that number. So let's keep on moving. Let's see. Here's January. Let's see, how do I mark this one? So Hashflare balance will be 0.003. That's cool. We're already triple what the total is at the end of the month. Find the end of February. We'll be at 004. End of March. 006. Oops. End of April, we'll be at 0.008. So we'll be close. Probably, yep, okay. So here we are. Let's just count it at the end of the month of May. We'll finally be at a withdrawal point, and that'll be approximately $160. Again, this is ballpark because we don't know what the price of Bitcoin is going to be, and we don't know what our revenue is going to be, but we can assume that the price goes up, the difficulty goes up, but so does the amount of the price of the Bitcoin that we mine with our contract. So take it or leave it, that's what it is. So in May, we will have earned back enough to withdraw any money. And considering I put in about, what did we say? 45 plus, let's just say it's $65, right? So 160. Ooh. What's that number there? So 160 divided by 65-ish. So we'll have made back about 2.5%, 2.5 ROI, right? Well, our contract continues to go, so we probably shouldn't withdraw at all unless we're fairly confident we're going to reach that number again. So let's say at the end of the first contract ending, we'll be at about 0.2, which will put us at about $400, which is nice. It'd be great if we could actually achieve that. We don't know, of course. We don't know what this number is going to be. We don't know what this number is going to be. So those are kind of questionable at this point. That's going to greatly influence that number. So if all things remain equal, again, this is a good number. It's not going to change as long as we don't change our hash rate. We know this number is accurate. So possibly we could gain back a little bit more than we put in. So let's just look at that one more time. If it's $65 total investment, and we divide that by 399. Whoops, I got that backwards. 399 divided by about $65. We're looking at about 6 times the return. So we can put that in another way, 399 minus 65. With a $65 investment, we'll have made 334. So what have we learned? We'll be able to withdraw, theoretically, and we'll have more than enough money to have paid for the experiment, and we'll have done none of the affiliate. So it looks like it's sound. It looks like it could work. So if you're making back that much, just make sure that you don't reinvest it all, so that you won't have any money to withdraw at the end. You'll have only hash rate. I think that's it for this little project today. We might do a little bit more speculation if. Let me know if you want me to, calculate how much it would be to reinvest every month, every couple months. Maybe at the end of when we finally get the same amount back, when when I consider I've actually broken even. So, we operate at a loss for the first month or so, and it's not until end of next month that we're even going to be in the positives. Right now we're still in the pink. We won't be in the black until well into next year. That could be interesting to work on a little bit, do a little speculation with a spreadsheet. But at the end of January next year, we'll definitely have enough made back to be even, but we won't have made yet enough to pull any out. So if we continue to reinvest, bump up that hash rate, possibly we'll have a little bit more in our balance. I don't know if that will mean a net gain, because we'll still have this number to contend with. So if we can beat $400 with a little bit of speculation, then we'll bring that back, and we'll experiment a little bit more. We're gonna see how well this does, and yeah, we'll work on this some more, and maybe we'll find out some more interesting things about how these numbers work out. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you next time.